Hi YouTube, how you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to have a honest conversation with you guys today, with the girls today. And this is a very honest, transparent conversation. But my best friend and I were having a very deep conversation the other day, not too long ago. And we were just talking about heartbreak and dealing with heartbreak and healing from a heartbreak. But the number one thing, the question that she had to ask me, how do I forgive myself when moving on and when healing? How do I forgive myself from a heartbreak? The way that I treated the person, because I see my flaws, the way that I treated the person, but also forgiving myself for how I treated myself within a relationship, for allowing myself to tolerate the relationship or staying in the past. And not only that, but also, how do you feel deserving of a relationship down the line? And I realized that I wasn't the only one that had this fear when I was going through my heartbreak, but one of the biggest fears is that she doesn't want to harden up and become bitter and lack trust within her new relationship. And hearing her say that made me realize that I wasn't the only one that was feeling that way. And if you are someone that is feeling that way, you're not the only one as well if you're going through a heartbreak. But she's going through it. I had to go through it myself, which is why she was asking me for my advice. And so I was giving her my perspective on that. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, and how I entered into a place of peace and just self-love, but also deserving of the love that's coming to me and the love that's meeting me down the line in the future and at this very moment. But how I healed from the past, how I forgave myself in that relationship, in that person, and the things that they said to me, but also how do I feel deserving of the new love that's coming towards me, and not to harden up and to feel bitter. And I also want to mention too that one of the other important things is that when healing from a heartbreak, making sure that the identity that was tied to you from that past relationship, breaking free from that identity, the words, the arguments, the insults, whatever was thrown at you during that, during that relationship, how do you break away from that? And so you can truly heal so that you can move forward. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about, because I had to go through it myself, and I don't want it to take as long as it did for me, for you, and for my best friend as well. So I'm going to be very honest and transparent. So the first question was forgiving yourself in that past relationship, forgiving yourself for allowing yourself to stay in that situation, that space, whatever it was. How do you forgive yourself? And how do you forgive yourself for your faults within that relationship, within the past? And so my advice to my best friend, my advice to you is that you have to take it day by day, but also you just can't constantly live in the past. The reason why that relationship did not work, and the reason why the two of you broke up, is because sometime, somewhere down the line, that you two maybe are not just compatible, that maybe this isn't your person. And that was a hard truth that I had to tell her. You forgive yourself by sitting down, acknowledging all the things that you did. Okay, like, yes, I was this person, I said these things, I did this, relationship ended because of me. But you also have to remember that it takes two within a relationship. You were responding off of this person, and maybe you were responding from another past relationship that you had trauma from that relationship too. And that's just all falls to the same thing, is that we're responding from the other person. And if this is not your person, if this is not the space that you were meant to be in, you're not going to be as feminine and soft as you're meant to be, and you're not going to be on your P's and Q's. And so you are going to be making a lot of mistakes that can be avoided, and that's pulling you two apart, or that's pulled you two apart. And that was happening to me in my past relationships. And the thing that you have to remember is that this possibly wasn't your person, and that you just have to move on from that. Because when it's not your person, you're trying to fit into a box. They're trying to fill the shoes of someone that they have, somebody that they want. And if this is not who the person that you're meant to be with, then you're not meant to be that person. So of course you can't be as feminine as you need to, as supportive as you need to, as loving, as understanding, because if you two are not compatible in that season or at that moment, then the other sides of you are going to be shown out, and you're not going to be able to be that soft, loving woman that you need to be. Or you're going to be the person that made the mistakes within this past relationship. And so that's the hard truth that I had to tell myself, was that, okay, yes, this relationship did not work out, but how do I forgive myself in the past? I have to remind myself that this was not my person, and that I was not meant to be with this person, and I was trying to be somebody that I wasn't, or we were clashing, butting heads, and it was just bringing out other sides of me that wasn't meant to be seen, that I didn't even know I had. And so I think a part of it is not forgetting that those things happen, but learning from them. When you use those lessons, they can no longer bring you so much pain, because you're using them to bring blessings and to learn from them, so that you are ready for the future and for the things that's coming for you as well. But that was the number one thing. So being honest with yourself, admitting your faults, and then sitting down and realizing, okay, like, why was I like this? Why did I speak this way to this person? Why was I impatient to them? Be honest and admit your faults, but then also realize why. Like, why were you responding to them in that way? And why were you guys butting heads, whatever it was? Now, if it's from a past relationship, a past trauma, and that's why you're treating this other relationship in such a way, then go to that relationship. Why were you so guarded? What happened for you to act like that, or for you to just respond and to change? And so a part of that is all just forgiving yourself, because you have to acknowledge the past. Another way to forgive, another thing that I had to do to forgive is, yes, thinking about it, being in those thoughts, but after a certain point, I had to cut those thoughts off. I had to be in the present, be in the moment, and realize that the only thing that matters right now is this very second, and this second, and this second, and this second. This is my reality. It's constantly moving, and this is the moment that I want to exist in. I don't want to exist in the past. As I'm healing and reflecting, yes, I'm going to think about what I did, what I could learn from it, but I'm going to use it now. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be in the moment and just stop living in the past. And so when I do that, I'm now going to focus. I have to focus on preoccupying my mind with passions and with love for myself, finding things that I like to do, or excelling in my career, whatever it was. I had to preoccupy my mind so that I stopped thinking about the past. I stopped harping on the past, and like keep putting myself in a place where I have to constantly forgive myself for what I've done, or how I acted, or the space that I kept myself in, which I hated. But I don't want the process to last as long as it did for me. So the sooner that you do that, the sooner that you realize that this is not your person, and that I'm supposed to be doing my makeup, but this is not your person, and the faster that you realize that, the faster that you can be in the present and be in the moment. Now, talking about the next question that she also asked me, now how can I move on without becoming so bitter? And well, she used the words, lacking trust within a new relationship. If this is a blessing that God is giving you, if this is what you want for your life, then the only person that you're hurting is yourself. You're hurting yourself by not being truthful to who you're meant to be and who you're supposed to be. Speaking about me, if I decided after my heartbreak to just be hard and bitter and to not trust somebody, and to say like, oh, I'm never going to love the same, I'm never going to love somebody the way that I did, then I will miss out on such a beautiful life that's waiting for me. That's here at this moment. I would miss out on it because I'm only hurting myself. It's not affecting anybody else but myself. And so I don't want you to do that. I don't want my best friend to do that. We have to come to terms to realize that we're responsible for our own life. So why are we going to sabotage it in that way? You don't want to do that. So yes, the past may hurt. Yes, it was uncomfortable. Yes, you may develop some trust issues, or this person may have damaged your trust. but the next person won't. The person that's meant for you, they're not going to do that. And I'm going to speak that into your life, and you're going to meet somebody. Now, when you do enter into relationships, yes, things happen, arguments, people, you will get hurt, you will get disappointed, but you should still trust, you should still love, because that's what relationships are. That's the relationship we have with God. Like, even though he gave us free will, how many times do we constantly break his heart? And if we are in the resemblance of him, then the same thing. Like, he still loves us. And so he's still not holding back, like, oh, I can't trust him anymore, so I'm not going to love them. He still loves us. And so we have the capacity and the capabilities to do the same thing. And so if you really want to live in this world, this beautiful life that he's given you, the most beautiful thing that you can do is love. Love it and live it. I had to tell her that. Like, you're only hurting yourself by just thinking about becoming bitter or lacking trust. Trust the person. Once I got past the healing phase and I started dating, a very important thing is that you have to start vetting the people that you date as you're healing. As you enter into this space where you're forgiving yourself, you learn from the past, and now you're like, okay, I deserve a life of love. I'm going to forgive. I'm not going to hurt myself any longer. You're going to start vetting these men, because the responsibility is on you, okay? Fool you once, shame on you. The relationship didn't work out. Don't let it happen again. And yes, we're human. I let it happen again. Don't prolong the journey. But the sooner you realize that, you're going to start looking at these men differently. And you're going to start looking at them like, is he a leader? Is he a provider? Does he support me? Does he truly love me? Does he see me as a partner, as a woman of God? Can I trust him? Like, all of these things are important. How does he treat the women in his life, his sister, his mom? How does he treat his friends? Is he reliable? All of these things. Is he intentional? All of these things are beautiful and sexy. Once you are a healed woman, all of these things are so sexy and attractive. And so you're going to start asking yourself that, and these are the type of men that you're going to want. And once you find that, this man that you end up with, that you find, deserves all of your love, the same way that you deserve his love, that you deserve love. So live a beautiful life and give this man all that you have to offer. Don't let the past hurt you. Don't let it stunt you. Don't let it stop you, because it's only hurting yourself. So you're going to want to give him all of these things, but vet him out first. Take your time. But just learn from your past mistakes, but you're only hurting yourself if you do that. Now, something else that she also asked me, this is very important, as you're healing and dating, how do you break free from the identity that relationship gave you? So the hurt and the pain, but also the titles that you probably labeled to yourself, the names, and rather that's from the relationship or from the person himself. Like, if he compared you to different women, or wanted you to be a certain way, or say these different remarks, or put these different labels on you, how do you break free from that? I had to go through it myself. I understand the pain. I understand how it is putting a false identity on yourself. And so the first thing, the very important thing, whatever this relationship told you, whatever this man told you, I want to remind you that you are beautiful, that you are gorgeous, you are one of a kind. And the reason why he was putting these labels on you is just because you're not her. Y'all were not meant to be together, and you're not the woman that he's looking for. And maybe he might not even know what type of woman he's looking for, but you're not her. So when he's putting all of these labels on you, they're false identities. They're not who you're meant to be. And so I just want you to remember that the only identity you need to worry about is how you view yourself and how God views you. And it's written in the Word, it's written in the Bible. And let me tell you, the way he loved his daughters is absolutely beautiful. Like, yes, he loved the men, but he loved the daughters. And that's why I think the way a father loves a daughter physically, it is a resemblance. The way a brother should love his sister, it is a resemblance of the way God loves us. He does have a special place in his heart for us. Just the way the stories that surrounds us are, whenever you read about the women in the Bible, the good ones, but whenever you read about them, It's the grace and the mercy and the love and how patient and kind, and it that's your identity, my love. Like, that is who you are. You are beautiful. You can break barriers. You can change. You can grow. Whatever it is, whatever you want. He's there for you. He can make your goals, your dreams, whatever it is that you desire. He is there for you. That's who you are. So, breaking free from the ugly, negative identity that you might be holding on to from your past relationship. Those things are false, and you are who you are. Whether this person like it or not, you are who you are, and it is beautiful. You are beautiful. And so I think you have to own up to it. You have to realize, like, hey, this is who I am. And also, this is who I want to be. I want to be a better woman. I learned from my past relationship, and I'm not tying this identity to me, but I am going to be a better woman for the next relationship. And then you have to work on those traits, qualities, celebrate your traits, celebrate your qualities, and just own up to it. When we're in those spaces that we're just not meant to be in, it's going to bring for personalities in us that personalities in us that we're not to be. And I had to tell myself that, like, I wanted to be more nurturing, more soft, more kind. That's who I am. But some of the past relationships, it was bringing out the more masculine side of me, which is not good. I don't function well under that, under stress and all of that. And I had to tell myself, like, I'm not that, okay, like, I'm not compatible with this person. But once you find, like, a sense of self, you respect yourself more, you vet these men out more, but you are more confident and more loving. And when you enter into your next relationship, you know the things that you want to give to that relationship: the patience, the kindness, the confidence, all of that, because you're working on that with yourself as you're single. And so when you're single, through the healing phase, past the healing phase, you're going to work on the things that you were lacking, the things that's contradicting the identity that this past relationship was giving you, and work on that. So I had to learn how to be patient with myself, to sit in my feminine energy, to be more feminine and dress the way I want to dress, love myself, celebrate my body and my voice, me, my personality. And I had to do those things. And so I'm going to challenge you to do that as well as you're navigating this season. The way to combat that identity is figure out, your identity through the word, but also how your soul, like, who is that, what type of woman are you? How nurturing do you want to be? How loving, how patient and kind? And so those are things that I want you to do. I want you to work on. Those are the things that I was telling my best friend to work on, because that's what I had to do. Those are just like some of the topics. This was like a very deep conversation I was having with my best friend, and I'm just talking to you guys. Like, I'm not even scripting, but I'm talking from personal experience. Yeah, so these are the things that I had to go through and learn from them, you guys. I will say that I know heartbreak sucks and it hurts. Breakups are no fun, but being a woman, finding your identity, finding your word, loving who you are, it's a beautiful season, and don't let it go to waste. Use it, because once you go through this season and you get all the blessings that's coming to you, you're going to reflect, on the healing phase, and it's going to, like I said, it's going to bring some peaceful moments, but you're going to realize that you found yourself. You truly found who you are during that season. And so I want the same thing for you, because that's what I went through. If there's any type of reassurance that I can give you, by making sure that you don't close up and that you don't become bitter, I want to remind you that God got you. And so where you end up and where you're going, it's so much greater than the past. It's better. I'm telling you, it's amazing, and it was all worth it. It's all worth it, and I promise you that God got you. So it's greater than the past. It's greater than the heartache, the pain. You guys, I promise you, it's greater. And so once you realize that, I want you to walk through this season with confidence and with love, patience, and grace, because it's greater than what you could have ever imagined. And I'm just speaking from existence. I'm speaking just from from experience, like, it's greater than you can imagine, and it's all going to be worth it. So when it comes to you, I want you to be ready. I want you to break away from the past identities. I want you to forgive yourself for your past mistakes, love on yourself, understand your identity, understand your worth, and then take what you learned from the past and you're going to use it and break free. You're not going to have any trust issues. You're not going to have any trauma, because you deserve more, and I want you to remember that. And you're going to vet these men out too, okay? Because there's a lot of men, but the man that's for you, I don't really get into if God chooses the men for us versus if he blesses the man. I really don't care to know. But when y'all come together, and especially if it's under God, it's worth it. It's worth it. And you're going to continue to grow. You're going to keep growing within that relationship. But I don't want you to miss out on your blessing because of these traumas and these things. And that's what I was doing. I didn't want to miss out. So I had to go through the mud. I had to heal. But we're going to get through this. And I know you will. I know it's hard at times. But I'm already proud of you. Because it's going to be worth it. I promise. I just want to get on here and share that with you guys and talk to you guys about that. I love my lip gloss. Oh well. And share that with you guys because it's hard out here. It is, but I'm excited. This is going to be a beautiful season for you. It's going to be so beautiful. But you're going to break away. So I'm about to head out. I'm about to go spend some time with my loved ones. And I'm going to finish getting dressed. But I'll see you guys next time, okay? But just remember everything I told you. I hope you think about it. And I always love talking to you guys. So thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you guys to share my thoughts. Remember, you always loved here, valued, and appreciated here on this channel. Until next time, okay? Mwah.